Perfection creates true character.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a fan of rock vocals though.
All the things you think is wrong with you is just a doorway to the discovery of your strength. You trust the unknowing. You will grow beyond detection.
I think this one is actually done, but I do like that vocal effect. Yeah, I've been looking at Evoke for a while, since it came out, but I finally went ahead and fired this up for minimal audio because they give you basically get that much. It's $15 a month, but you get $15 a month credit towards buying anything. So, yeah. And there's a few other things I wanted to try as well, so this lets me try them full up, no limitations.
Suffering comes from the meaning you attach to the situation and not from the situation itself. Suffering comes from the meaning you attach to the situation and not from the situation itself.
Cluster delay is so much fun.
It's alright not to know the
The
answers.
way you can offset tabs, the things that it'll
Least
do.
expected.
I wouldn't probably use it for much other than special effects. Then you can just hear it swirl up along.
In order to have the worthiness to gain, one must have the willingness to lose.
Such a fun vocal effect. The delay, the vocoder's cool too.
You can transform your entire personality by becoming the observer.
It's funny. I still do use the pink noise
When you go with the
method
flow,
to mix
the
it,
world
to get
comes
that
out
bass
to
mix.
meet you.
But I've noticed now, by doing it the way I want, which is basically I'll set the pads and the bass to somewhere around -12, and then balance everything together. So, because I want it to peak above that, but not drop too far below that. It tends to duplicate what I get with the pink noise method pretty accurately.
When you are fully awake, you dance through the moments you once were.
Take everything slightly out of the way. Voice comes in.
The world comes out to meet you. When you are fully awake, you dance through the moments you once were.
Just want to push things just a little bit out of the way when the vocal comes in to give some vocal clarity.
Moments you once were. When you are fully awake, you dance through the moments you once were.
So finish with this one.
When you are fully awake, you dance through the moments.
So that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that one's done for sure. Mix is solid. Okay. So cool. Thank you. So wait, hang on. Go back. Go back. Close. 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 No, I don't. Oh, okay. 12, 9, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is not done. I could tell this already because it has 0 ear candies. And then I'm not sure what I would do if I actually did a track that had 0 SFX added to it. There's a B flat that needs to be fixed. Where is it? Okay, somewhere in here is a B flat that I played that is the wrong note. Where the hell is it? B3. All right, I guess we'll just listen to it till we find it. Need to fix some velocities too. that up because I see a few people popping in and out, lurking in the background. Oh, that's a lot. That's better. Even to punch you in the face. Say, I'm here. Let's just do some side motions. Anybody? There we go. All right. Now, before we do anything else, let's play around with this thing. First of all, let's turn that way down. Anyway, yeah, this is an extra. I'm off work today. Don't have a lot to do, so thought I'd do an extra one, listening party for Street Deck 2012 here just a bit, and then I'll be back on this afternoon for my regular stream. Okay, so let's get ready. Let's go back to the delay. Spin around. This reverb. Yeah, I figured, it's my birthday. I'm gonna do what I want. That's actually pretty good, just like that. This is kind of cool. Watch this. Real quick. It's kind of a shimmer. This tonal reset is kind of a neat feature. What it does is every time it gets a new tone, it restarts the reverb so that you don't get this layer on layer on layer on layer on layer of reverb. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. What happens when you crank up the reverse? That's interesting. Don't think I like it on that sound though. That's good for that just nice little sweep in the background. time, there are 3 different sequences going here. We got this one, which is the fast one. We got this one. Very Bach fugue-esque here. We got this one. It's not much. I mean, so there's actually 3 patterns running here to create this. Here, I'll turn this back on and show you first. So we start this. There's 3 different patterns here. Yeah. Okay, so once you get past the initial use phase, I would never recommend that you just let things record out of stepping. That's why that exists. Because you find something you like and you just drag it out. Just drag it out. Boom. I would never mix down with just Stepic or Harmony Bloom or anything running. That way lies madness. Say mix down the audio. So don't leave it in step. Yeah, I typically don't bounce everything to audio unless the thing gets real intensive on the CPU. Unless it gets ultra intensive on the CPU and it's starting to have dropouts, I typically don't mix down to audio. The thing is, so here's the thing with randoms. If you've got anything running that's random, which this is running random here, so my velocity is random. When I mix down to audio, that's the random I'm going to get, but it's still going to be just that random from that particular run of the track. It's not going to be the random you just got that you really liked. But in some ways, people with less experience have some interesting advantages over those that have more experience. And here's why. Assuming that you're not afraid to twiddle knobs. You don't have any preconceived notions. I'm using you generically here. The person with less experience has no real preconceived notions of, oh, if I push this button, that's bad, because they don't know. So they start experimenting, and then you end up with really, really interesting things because they're not obeying. Heavy quotes here. They're not obeying the rules. There's only one rule in music. If it sounds good, it's correct. That's the only rule. This is the only thing I don't like about Analog Lab. Is all the times we can't change some of the stuff that I want to change. Every time I hear somebody say in a video, you must always do this, be honest, their credibility goes down with me a few notches. Because the fact of the matter is, for almost every situation that you can find that someone says, you must always do this, you will find a really good track that does exactly the opposite of that. Language we use to describe what we did, not how we did it. Music theory is the common set of terms that we use to describe what happened, not how we got there, so to speak. I know zero composers who constantly sit there and go, okay, music theory says I need to go from here to here, to here, to here, to here. It's not how that works. You get in, you start pressing buttons, you start making chords, you go, oh, that sounds really good. And then music theory is what we do after the fact to figure out what the hell it was we just did. Yes, some periods of time have more defined rules. There's a reason that classical musical education starts you in the Baroque period. Because in the Baroque period, i.e. Bach, they did have a fairly regimented set of rules that 99% of the composers followed. Guess what? Bach broke a lot of those rules, and he also wrote a lot of those rules, so to speak. But very few, and nobody that I know actually sits there and goes, okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, flat 6, 4, 2. That's not what's happening in your head. You play. You're like, I'm in X key. I'm gonna play. Then you just start playing. And then music theory is what happens after the fact. You go back and try to figure out what it was you just did. And then as more and more people do the same thing, that becomes a quote-unquote codified rule. That's all music theory is, which is why it always amuses me when people are afraid of music theory. They're like, oh, I don't need to learn theory. You're right, you don't need to learn theory. You should want to, because theory is how musicians communicate. Yes, and that is so. I have most of a music degree. I switched my majors. Well, this particular song is using these chords. Yes, I use scalar. I have a music degree. I still use scalar. Bite me. It's much faster because I am not that great on the keys. And while I can spell all these chords, this is way faster. Alright, you know what? We'll come back to this. Check this out. You wanna see how I do this? Well, then, okay. I mean, I don't particularly use the modulation section a lot, but we'll take a look at it. I don't do very complicated modulations though. Although in the track that I was working on before you got here, the track actually went from A Lydian to A major, which is not that big of a shift, mind you, but it gives it a lift. Um, sure. I'm not trying to imply that you shouldn't. Just you don't have to. So here's the thing. Here's a thing. When you're composing, my advice is to operate on the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Um, I use the kinder, gentler version of that. Keep it simple. Keep it keep it nice and easy. We all do. We have to learn how to not overthink things. And that's one of the problems with music theory. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, keep it simple, stupid. I said I use the kinder, gentler version of that saying. Um, we tend to overthink things. And I say we as everyone. And if you don't think that Chris does this too, you're lying to yourself. Like I said yesterday, while I still have access to the Circle Forum, 99% of all composers suffer from imposter syndrome. The other 1% are lying. That's pretty much how that works. Yeah, we all are, right? I still overthink things constantly. So Scalar, but you just have to learn how to not overthink it. Which is easier said than done sometimes. And sometimes people are like, they ask me, and they go back to the Discord and look, not only in the circle but in other threads. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Practice is the answer. How do I finish tracks? You learn to finish tracks by finishing tracks. It's just as simple and just as hard as that. The more tracks you finish, the easier that will get. The more you reach the finish line, the easier the finish line is to reach. And the only way to do it, here's the thing. We live in a world now where everybody wants the quick hit. They want the shortcut. They want the way to do this in 5 minutes. Guess what, folks? With music, there is no 5-minute shortcut. There is no substitute for time in grade. You want to learn how to make music? Get in your studio, get in your DAW, pull out your instruments, start making music. Dave Grohl once in an interview when they were actually asking about American Idol, and he was talking about he didn't like it. He's like, look, this is how it works. Go find 3 friends, get in your garage, form a band, suck. You will suck, but keep doing it. Keep sucking. Keep making music. Doesn't matter. Just keep doing it, and then suddenly you rule the world. Practice. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Yeah, that might be a little overkill, but I'm the wrong person to ask about time. You know, you can get on one of my streams and watch me develop a track from start to nearly finished in 2 hours. And most of the tracks that end up on the stream that get that far take maybe another hour to finish. But I realize that I'm somewhat the aberration there. Um, but time is not as important. Okay, but do you want some hard truths? You know what that sounds like to me? I'm gonna be gentle as possible. That sounds like an excuse. And it sounds like an excuse to not get better. And that's what we need to put away. Don't misunderstand me. Used to do the same thing. Did it all the time. It's like, oh, I'll get it done. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing this for anything other than I just want to do it, which is true. And therefore take as much time as you want. But once you decide, like you seem to have decided that you want to get better, then the questions become, how do we get better? There's a saying that practice makes perfect. That is false. Perfect practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. So if you want to get better, practice getting better. If you want to get faster, practice getting faster. Whatever. If you're happy with how much your process takes, boom, you're good. Good to go. Um, but if you want to finish more tracks, you got to get a little faster at it or get more time, one or the other. And most of us don't have more time during the day. Most of us that on the Discord don't make music for a living. Sure, I think that's a good time frame. But again, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying everybody needs to finish tracks in 2 hours. That's complete bullshit. If it takes you a month, it takes you a month. But find a workflow that works consistently in that same time in that time frame. That's the trick, right? You want consistency and output. Here's one of the hardest lessons to learn. Well, I said on the stream or in the circle yesterday. The first hardest thing to do is to put your music out there. The second hardest thing to do is to accept critique on it. The next hardest thing to do is to actually get it done. And that might be the first hardest thing, right? The first hardest thing to do is complete a track. Then put it out there. Then, but understand that there's a lot of people out there that want to do this that don't. Sure. Then work on your arrangements. That's the thing. Take old tracks, rearrange them. Get several pieces of a track, start putting them together in different things. You have to practice that, right? If that's where you need to work, that's what you need to practice. In my case, about a couple years ago, I really started, at least in the electronic realm. I've been doing this for ages in the acoustic realm because I've got several albums out with both my wife and other groups, that I wanted my electronic music mixing to come up to that same level. So you start working on that. Those are the questions that you asked. Right. Exactly. Right. It's that same principle of we get in our garage and we suck. And we just keep trying and keep everything we finish, we learn something. But the problem is, Al, the problem with that is you have to be honest with yourself and realize that you have weak spots. Because this is where somebody quoted Dunning-Kruger syndrome, Dunning-Kruger effect. How many of us start out thinking, my God, we're going to be the best thing, we're the best thing ever at this. The fact of the matter is we sucked. Yeah, okay, so I mostly agree with that. But we all think we suffer from and in some ways this never goes away. We all think that we're better than what we are, and at the same time we think that we're worse than what we are. Right? And there's no better place to see that than to watch people's reactions when they first step into the circle. How many comments from everybody in this chat, except, well, I don't know. I'm sure Andy may have done it, but Andy was in the circle long before I joined the circle. How many comments have said, "Oh God, I don't want my track listened to now"? How many times has that joke been made in the circle? You can just pull my track now, thanks. I did it. We all did it. Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. But you know what? You should be. But at the same time, you should be. You have to remember that you're there for a reason. You joined the circle because you think it was going to make you better, but it's only going to make you better if you accept what it offers. Good Lord, you guys got me philosophizing today. Jesus Christ. Scalar. So, real quick, Scalar. So, here's a couple of things about Scalar you might need to know. This little button is very important because let's say you want to come over here to common progressions and you start traveling through these. That one's in C major. These are all in C major. You come over here, or you go to uncommon progressions, you go to genres. That's in, that's F sharp. These are all different keys, right? But if you come over here and you choose, say, D minor. Thanks. I appreciate that. You choose D minor, hit that button. This locks that scale in place. Now if you come back over here and you go to genres, all of these are now in D minor. And there's some good progressions in here, by the way. Don't shy away from these. Give them the try. Um, with that being said, I don't use them that often. Um, so I choose my scale, right? This is the scale I want. Then I come over to this lovely screen. And if you really analyze my tracks, you'll find that very often, very often, I do not start on the tonic, on the one. I avoid the one for quite some time because quite often, especially in my ambient stuff, I want the key center to be a little ambiguous when it starts. But in this case, let's go. So D minor. So boom, hit D minor, and it gives you all these choices, right? The blues are definitely are in key. The farther away you get from blue, the farther away from the key you have chosen it is. Hey, fun fact, guys. Most of the tracks that get shared with the circle are downloadable. Just don't share them out. I don't think anybody's going to care. Quick tip. So let's say, and it gives you a quick audition. Jazz chord. Minor 11 flat 13. Good lord. I don't think it's stealing at all, but again, these are for personal use as well. It's not like, ooh, that's pretty. So I like this chord. Pull it down. Let's take a knock on octave though. I'm pretty sure that the guy who masters Andy's tracks, all he really does is put them in his template, push the volume up, and call it a day. There's so little work I think that has to be done to master Andy's stuff. It's great. Which is the perfect example of get it right in the mix and you don't have to worry about the master, right? You fix it in the mix, in the original you fix it in the original recording, you don't fix it in the master. So, hang on. Let's get a few chords first, then we'll look at that. Right, that's my point, right? His stuff sounds so good that all it really needs to be mastered is to throw it into whatever and push the volume up. It doesn't actually need anything else. Just throw it in there, crank the volume to where you want, where you want your loudest part to be, call it a day. It's got to be like the easiest mastering job in the world, man. I love it. All right, so let's get some chords here. E minor, let's go to G minor. Boom. All right, so we're in D minor, and we want to modulate to what? Destination scale. Oh God, I forgot how to set this. Destination scale. Let's go weird. Let's go to C. So C major is our destination scale. This is your modulation pathway that it thinks you should take to get to that. Note that this ends on the G major, which is the 5 of our next key. So then you just drop down and boom. So what this is saying is this is one pathway that you can use to get there, is what this is saying. So my suggestion is grab all these, or not. Now we're in our new key, right? Hang on, let's take these up an octave. Go back to here. Oh, go back. Good Lord, where am I going? Where am I going? There we go. Let's go back to here. So let's take. So we get here. Now we start our path. Right here. And now we're in C major. As we come 5, 1, 4, you could even do it this way, right? You could do this. Yeah. Scalar's one of those things that looks really complicated, but is really not. They did rearrange the furniture though a little bit more than I would like when they went from 2 to 3. They did kind of overcomplicate. Now I was looking forward to the MIDI editing part, but it kind of sucks. It's not a great implementation of an editor. I don't bother with it at all, to be honest. So go back to what I was doing. So we go here. Now you can let it suggest for you. You can tell it to keep it in the scale, minimize movement. I don't actually like minimize movement. Let's come back through the F. And just go there. Yeah. Minor sevenths, major sevenths, ninths. I'm fond of sevenths, ninths, and sixth chords. But mostly seventh and ninth, to be honest. We'll come back to this. Well, let's just grab a quick one right here. Let's just grab that. All right, so once I get it out of scalar, I just drag it out, right? And then I come over here and start going. I look for common tone. Okay, so here, so I can carry that out. Carry that out. This is an odd chord progression because there's not a lot of common tones. But I could take this down to here. So I can pull that out. Take that up. Pull that over. I'm going to take that up. I'm going to bring this down. Ooh, we got some John Williams open voicing going on in here. I'm okay with that. I'll do. We have 5 chords here. Let's take this out to 36, which will be 7. Bonk. I give this 7.5. That's fine. This is my favorite effect right now. Watch this. Then we're going to put in another one. Same program. Same preset. But we're going to reverse these. Right? See how it mellows that shimmer out? So good. Hands down my favorite shimmer right now. It goes from this That is about as boring as a pad as you can get. Right? We just a little delay? Which is just our good old sines dotted eighth delay. And then stack the shimmers. And you get this. So good. The funny thing is, I can remember the first realization of you get a hold of a synthesizer that you've wanted for a long time. You go, you play a known sound, and you're like, oh my god, this sounds like shit. This sounds terrible. What the hell is the problem? The answer is you're listening to just this. You don't have any of this. Also, that's really pretty. I like it. Alright, I have to keep this. We'll see how far we get on this and bring it back around. Maybe I'll save this for later. But yeah, so we have this, right? We've got this going. We'll pull this down here. Let's add another one. Oh, let me get my color coding. So I color code everything, and I always code it the same. I can pretty much, I would almost be willing to bet right now I could pull up any of my projects, even the ones that aren't necessarily labeled pad, bass, sequence, whatever. And Andy, who's been in here since almost the very beginning, maybe since the very beginning, could look at that and tell you what everything is just by the color coding. Here's your legend for my color coding. It's my current favorite bass trick. Again, stack this. My bass. It's my really good naming. My bass. Then we're gonna grab a Chris bass that I love, ballast. Now we're gonna come back here to scale it. Right? We're gonna grab our chord progression again. Once you start to feel scalar and how it works, it really speeds up the workflow. Because again, I can go in and I can spell all these chords on a keyboard. I can do it, but it would take me like an hour and a half just to get the chord progression I wanted. Here I can do it in 2 or 3 minutes. Yep. So here's our bass. I don't know if I want to start on the D. Let's start on the A. Wait this for a second, please. I almost always just use chord tones for my bass and stuff in this stuff because it's the foundation anyway. Scalar 3 regularly goes on sale. Is Harmony Blue? Yeah, I guess it would be considered a Euclidean sequencer. We'll call it up in a minute. drop it in octave. And we get this. Yeah, it pretty regularly goes on sale though for like $40. Let's gentle that attack slightly. I use Ozone. So Chris has talked lately about Master Plan. Master Plan is okay. I won't tell you not to use Master Plan. I will tell you not to push it hard, because when you push Master Plan hard at all, it will introduce a lot of phasing issues. Of which I currently have none. Could master with FabFilter. It's just, so here's the thing. Fun fact. Mastering plugins are just plugins. I could use Ozone on every single friggin' track if I wanted to. There's no, it's not like, oh, this is a mastering plugin. This is a mastering EQ. Yeah, it's just a fucking EQ. You really don't, yeah. Snake oil, folks. Sometimes it's snake oil. Not always. Don't get me wrong. I don't use Ozone for anything else other than this is my mastering chain. Which you'll notice I'm mixing into my mastering chain. You notice that? Huh? That's terrible. It's a terrible practice. Everybody out, every other person, stop doing that. I don't know. Nobody complains. My mixes sound pretty damn good. So, but I can turn it off at any time too. So I guess. You have everything you need. Use the stock limiter. I have a limiter here that's set to -1, just to catch the ultra peaks to stop it from squealing. All right, let's go just for ease, because I don't feel like creating anything right now. We'll go. That is not what I want. Although VCV rack would be decent for plugs. If I was really good in modular, which I am not. Let's go to good old neural drift. Grab Harmony Blue. That's stepping. Harmony Blue. There we go. Right. The only thing in a perfect world, i.e. Andy's world, mastering should just be bringing the levels up, bring the volume up, you know, gluing things together with maybe a slight bit of glue compression, glue reverb. Done. If you've got to start doing surgical cuts in your master, something's wrong. Now, with that being said, if you want to look at my mastering chain, this is not doing much. It's more of a look at anything. My equalizer, just kind of a gentle curve. I have another one on the end. This is kind of, this is just telling me what my stereo image is. Basically. But really, the relay is here with some dynamic cuts to catch some of this stuff. It peaks out hard, and then the compressor, the maximizer. It's not doing a lot, to be honest. Alright, let's do Harmony Blue. We are in, what are we in? D minor. We're in D minor. Snakes, I'm getting you easy, man. Hold on, guys. Okay, look. Nice. It's too much. Is it coming up? Yeah, mono compatible, but I don't want. I just don't worry about making it completely mono compatible anymore. All right, where's it? See if that worked. Well, to be honest, you might be surprised at how mono your car speakers are. Hello. Hey, this is Harmony Bloom. Alright, let's look for an... Okay, buddy. Don't panic. Let's look for an update. Okay, so... Andy is much better in Harmony Blue than I am. Okay, sorry, iPad technical issue. I'll get it, bud. I'll get it. Sure. Well, so again, that brings us back to targeted practice. Go to YouTube. Find you a YouTube downloader. Go find some random movie scenes. Strip the sound out of them. Re-score them. Yes and no. So these lines are the note lines that every time it passes one of these it plays. So if I want more, I just click more. I had assumed at one point that these lines were scale lines. That does not really seem to be the case. Although, I think that is, but what's happening is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Andy, so each one of these is a note on the scale, that's why it's on each different line, but it's playing, whatever note it's playing, let's say the D note, it's playing it between these two, so I could get, at any given time it plays a D, I get a D3, D4, or D5. Well, that works too. But if you want to learn to score to picture, you need to be making movies. Use movies, not still images. That's not timing lines. These are timing lines. These are note lines. So we can test it. We're doing this. Say we get the same note every time. I've come up with personally that I actually like. So I usually start here and I play around with the offsets, play around with the loop length. If I wanted to go faster, I could take the loop length out of there. This is just using the effects that are on the preset environment, which is compressor delay, UFD standard, anything. So this is a Anomaly 4 Pluck, one of my favorites, Null Drift, from Sounds of Life. This set can be bought on the Material Bandcamp page. Tell Chris I plugged the stuff. Say I want to do some more stuff. That's okay. I got about 20 more minutes, and then it'll be time to move over to the listening party for Stream Tracks Volume 12, which is a compilation of tracks that I've made on the stream at any given time. Not just the Tuesday, Thursday streams. This one has a couple of little surprises in it, or maybe at least one little surprise track that people that have only heard my ambient and ambient adjacent stuff will be like, whoa, hey, exactly what it says. It tells you what the chords are. Easiest way to do it is put on the master, right? Oh, what did I do? I did something I didn't like. Really? Interesting. So like say put it over here, put it before the delay. That's correct. So it just listens and tells you what the chords are. Scale. Alright guys, I'm gonna let this play out. It's got a vibe. Not sure I'm entirely at this. Let's take the little link back before Nice. I'm old enough to know what that is. That's neat. With the cluster delay on it. Oh, the stream this afternoon. I'll have to try out Current. I got the bundle, so I have that to listen to use now. Which, Harmony Bloom or Current? This is the version 6, beta 11. Alright guys, one last time. I will be back about 3:30 this afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock for a regular Making Ambient Noise. Come back and join us then. If you're not doing anything now, come over and join us there. Stream Tracks Volume 12. I tried to go back to 5, but I used too much of the 6 beta stuff now. And just the workflow is, it's quite a bit smoother. It really is once you get used to it. Trying to go back was tough. I mean, I'm sure I could if I had to. I don't want to. So, alright guys, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna shut this one off. Go over to my listening party. Come join us over there. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the questions. And you're always welcome in any stream that I'm doing musically. If I don't see you on Bandcamp, I'll see you later.